Hey guys, it's Sauna here, and today we're going to be reviewing a book called The Taylor Turbochaser. This personally is one of my favourite books, so I cannot wait to start reviewing this. So, this book is about 11-year-old Amy and her friends. She goes on a road trip, thrilling adventure, and I can't wait to start reviewing this book. The Taylor Turbochaser is an amazing book, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my reasons why I definitely think it's a good book. So, first of all, let's read the blurb. Amy Taylor loves cars. Here are our favourite ones. The Aston Martin DB5, the Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing 3, the Jaguar E-Type. Oh, by the way, that one before was the second one. And number 4, the Ford Transit Van, or a Ford Transit Van, which might sound strange. You have to read this book to find out why. But Amy has never been able to do the thing she dreams of most, to drive, until now. And let's read the blurb inside of the dust cover. It's a fancy dust cover it comes with, as you can see. Here are our favourite cars, and the blurb stuff is on the inside. So, it's the latest brilliant blockbuster from BADDIEL, a non-stop thrill ride adventure that will have readers young and old racing to the finish line. Amy loves cars and dreams of being a driver, but there's a major catch: her slow old wheelchair with its broken wheel. When Amy finally gets in a new electric one, it's exciting at first, but standard engines only have so much power, and that's where Rahul comes in, Amy's best friend and genius inventor. Soon Rahul turns a wheelchair into a supercar, and so the Taylor Turbochaser is born. But when it all goes suddenly wrong, Amy is going to have to hit the road and drive. So as you can tell, it's definitely got suspense, action, thrills, road trip thrills of course, and I'm going to be telling you some of the reasons why I really like this book. So, first of all, it's a funny book. You know the drill. Funny books are my favourite books. They're the best books. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, yep, it's a funny book. I love funny books. And it's got adventure in it. And it definitely will suck you into its brilliant vocabulary. And it will definitely suck you into its brilliant vocabulary that really gets you hooked. Once you start reading this book, you will find it very hard to put it down. Trust me. I've learned from experience. And as you can tell from when I read the blurb, Amy is disabled. She's in a wheelchair. You'll find out why in the book, but that's really unfortunate because she really wants to drive. She can't though, until then. So her friend Rahul makes a genius invention that will make sure she can hit the road and fulfill her wildest dreams. So the author is David BADDIEL, as you could probably tell from when I read the blurb, and the author and the illustrator is Stephen Lenton. They're both brilliant people that came together to make this brilliant book, and they definitely deserve praise for what they did. David BADDIEL has produced some other books in the past. I have 2 more that I'm going to show you right now. So the other 2 books I have are Head Kid, when Ryan Ward, the naughtiest boy at school, somehow swaps places with his head teacher. You have to find out more about that. And Future Friend. I've just finished reading this book and I'm going to give it a proper review in the future because it definitely does deserve its own review. But as you can see, it's about Rahul and his future friend. Thing is, I can't put them there though because that's where my review format is. That's how I form all of my reviews. The standard format that I do for every video. Now you know my secret. And now, I'm going to be introducing something new to the channel. Well, I'm going to be reading the first few pages, maybe the first chapter of this book. Sit back, maybe grab some popcorn or something, and enjoy. So, the bits before the beginning. Amy Taylor loved cars. Here are her favourite ones. The Aston Martin DB5. This is the one James Bond drives. Amy just loved the look of this one. Although as with all old cars, classic cars as people in the know like Amy call them, if she had one, she would get someone to remake it with an electric motor and I can't even read now. With an electric engine so that it wasn't bad for the planet. Maybe with the help of her friend Rahul, who was an inventor of all sorts. Number 2. The Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing. This was another classic car. It had doors that, instead of opening normally, came up like wings, making the whole car look like it could fly. It couldn't though. Number 3, the Jaguar E-Type, which was also an old car, but she liked the new one called the Zero, which was actually electric. It was just as beautiful as the old car, and Amy thought it was very clever that the car had always been called the E-Type, even before there was an electric version. Number 4, the Ford Transit van. Well, a Ford Transit van. A Ford Transit van. Her mum's white battered 7-year-old one. Amy's love for cars might seem unusual, not because she was a girl, of course. Lots of girls like cars and lots of boys don't, but because she had been in a really bad car accident when she was 8 years old, which also meant that since then, she was now 11, she had needed to use a wheelchair. Amy's accident was also why the Ford Transit van was on her list of favourite cars. As a petrol head, that's slang for car fan, she knew it wasn't up with the Aston Martin and the Gullwing, but she also knew that her mum had spent a lot of time and money converting this old, a bit like Meta from Cars wagon, into something that could transport Amy and her chair and her very, very teenage boy brother Jack. You'll meet him in a bit when you read the book. This made the van one of a million reasons why Amy loved her mum. She often felt an especially huge love for her mum, as she easily wheeled her chair up the ramp that came out of the back of the van. "Thanks, Mum," she'd say, as she rolled up into the back of the Transit. "Look, I can do it one-handed." Actually, that isn't true. Or rather, it isn't true any longer. Amy used to be able to wheel her way easily up the ramp inside the van, but not anymore. The problem wasn't with her or the van, it was with her wheelchair. For some time now, the right wheel had not pointed in the same direction as the left wheel, which meant that Amy sometimes felt like she was trying to get around in a supermarket trolley, and not just any trolley, one that's been separated from all the others on the edge of the supermarket car park, because as soon as any shopper sees it, they know that its wheels will stick. I've maybe gone a bit far with the trolley comparison, although it was a comparison Amy herself would use a lot while complaining to her mum about the wheelchair. She was doing exactly that when this story begins, as they drove into Lodlil, the cheaper than most superstore, near where they lived. So hopefully that got you hooked to the book. I know it definitely got me hooked when I read that prequel. Sort of like a prequel, no, what's it called? What do people call it? What do people call it when they write a bit before the book? Let me know down in the comments section if you guys know. I've forgotten for now. But yeah, it's a brilliant book. That's what I'm trying to say to you here. I definitely think it's worth reading. You can just rent it. You can just get it from the library. You don't need to rent it, or buy it from a bookstore. Anywhere that sells books, even online. But yeah, I definitely think it's a great book. It's worth driving. I'm saying it's worth driving. I'm turning into a petrol head. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth reading. And yeah, that is it from me for today. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.